Hi everybody, Ben here from Art Less Ordinary. So, I am going to do another infinity pour. So, I realise that I have videos that people seem to like more than others. But I like infinity pours, even though they don't seem to get a lot of views or as many likes or comments. They're one of my favourites, so I'm going to do one anyway. I try and do things that everyone likes, but I also want to do stuff that I like too. So ultimately, this is my plan. So I'm going to use colours that I haven't done before, and I'm not exactly sure how great they're going to turn out. I'm going to do green and blues. I wanted to do greens, but I kind of don't know if I've got the right greens because I'm using mont paint, and I don't have the whole selection the whole range of their colours. I've just got a select few. So I got to kind of pick what I want to do. I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I like green, but at the same time, I just have to sometimes do what I enjoy, and I'm hoping I get this green one right. Now, I was about to do something, and I have forgotten. Oh, my measurements, that's right. So, this is the same mixture that I did for the one I did a couple of days ago. So I've got sap green, I've got viridian, I've got phthalo blue, and I've got turquoise. And they are all mixed 22 grams paint, 38 grams floetrol, 15 grams water. Then I have black and white, which are mont, and decoart americana decor silver. And they are 11 grams paint, 19 grams floetrol, and 8 grams water. So, oops. So that's what I've got. So even though last painting I did, I only used half the amount of black. Black kind of really likes to dominate, but it doesn't always. So it's one of those hard things that I want to put it in there, but I can't always work out if it's going to be my friend or not for the night. But we'll see how it goes. 16 by 20 inch canvas, and my paints have been mixed up for probably an hour now. They don't seem to have as much bubbles in it when I use floetrol. It's usually the glue mixture that seems to give me a lot more bubbles. So just give them a quick stir. So I will put in some of the white and some of the black and some of the silver in each side. And using the decoart silver, I'm hoping that I get the cool effects that I got last time again. We'll just have to see. It's a little bit hard here in Australia to always get these colours and everything that you want. So sometimes you just got to go. I've only got gold and silver with this, and I think the silver would have worked better than the gold with these colours. So here we go. So the bottom layer, I'm going to just use smaller amounts. And I'm already getting paint reactions, which is great. That is exactly what we want. Add a little bit of black. So it's just a matter of pouring them in, and I found it actually gets better results if I just use little bits here and there and not overload it with too much. So it's kind of a splash of this, a splash of that, and that seems to work best for me, I find. Already that silver's giving me cool reactions. It's making the other colours get lots of cells, which is precisely what I want. So by the time I have poured these in, the cup will be close to being full. So it's kind of what you want, is a pretty decent sized cup. I might just go a little bit more silver on this one. Excellent. Now the last bits. So I always do these as a dirty pour. I think, well, I haven't actually done a straight pour. I am going to try it one day. But so far I haven't, and I don't know. It's on my 1 day list, but it's not a rush list, that one. Because I kind of like it when I do the dirty pour with these infinity pours. So it's hard, I know you can't always see in the camera, but the top of this cup, it's got all these silver kind of pearls showing up, and really cool effects just in the cup before you've even done anything, which is really awesome. And I'm also going to try and get a couple of measuring jugs, like smaller ones, and do this with measuring jugs which actually have a spout, and see if I get slightly different effects from that. So I'm really not sure how these greens are going to work. I don't use greens a lot, and I don't always think I've got the right greens either. But you never know. I could be more pleased with it than I thought. So as you can see, I'm just pouring it in as I go. Probably going to be a little bit more black in this, in the green side, than there was in the blue side. Excellent. So I did a video last night of another one of my ghost swipes on an MDF board, and I was so happy with it. It turned out really good, and I actually did it really quick, so it was going to be quite a shorter video for one of those pours. I think it was like 16 minutes instead of nearly 30, because I'm getting more familiar with it. It kind of just was a good painting night. And then when I went to look at the video, it was blurry. The whole video turned out blurry, and I was so disappointed, but can't do anything about that. So I uploaded the photos onto the Facebook page, one of the Facebook groups, and that was all I could do. So I'm going to do more of those. But I did find one thing. I did find it worked better when I used gesso on the MDF board rather than just using pouring straight onto the board as it was. It just seemed to make the paint flow a little bit better. Alrighty, nearly there, everyone. I know that not for everyone this seems like fun, but if I want to teach people properly, I try to show the whole process, because people can always fast forward the bits they don't like, but you can't watch bits I don't record. So that's why I often do this part. And that way the newbies still get to learn, and the people that don't want to see it can just hit the skip a minute or two. Wonderful. Okay, that's done. I'm going to, I don't know why, but I always seem to want a certain colour in one hand or the other. Oh, God. So, get my gloves on, because as normal, this starts covering the canvas quite quickly and it always seems to slightly tip off. So if I get my gloves on, I'm ready and waiting to go. Alrighty, all done, ready. I'm just going to make sure it's recording. I don't want to miss another video. Yes, it's doing its thing. And sometimes my paintings look a little bit darker on this side than they do on that side. It's just the position of my lights. Once I've got a proper art room done, which still will be a little while away, then I'll be able to have better lighting and everything. But for now, this is what I have, and we work with what we have. So, hands moving, slightly tip the cups. Okay, it's going over the edge, you've got to stop. Put the cups down. Move the paint around. Let's go over this corner, hey? Over and back. And while the paint is fresh, dab the corner. Over and back. We're going to go up over this way. Some of these cells and that end up coming off when you're tilting. There's not always a lot you can do about that. Come back down. See where the movement of the paint's going, and go to the last corner. I'm going to lose some silver, but oh well. Over and bring it back. That corner was done. Just double check that you've got your corners. Okay, now work out if there's any part of it you want to remove. I might remove a little bit of this corner down here. And then bring it back. And then just keep maneuvering it until you feel like you've got the colours where you want them to be. The paint where you want it to be. I think that's pretty good. I don't want to remove too much more, because this side's got nice effects. That top corner does. This corner's got lots of silver pearls coming through. This corner's probably my little bit more basic corner, but that's why I kept this blue a little bit more down to this side instead of bringing it all the way back to the middle, because then it would have made this a very boring corner, which I don't really want a completely boring corner. So just checking my sides one more time. I'm also going to try this soon with a slightly thicker mix without putting so much water in it. So I'll still do the floetrol and the paint, but I might just use a little bit less water and see if I get different effects. If I like it, then I'll continue to do it that way. If I don't like it, I'll go back to putting this amount of water in it again. So that's the thing, once you're enjoying something and you're liking it, just tweak it a little bit to see if you get something different that you kind of enjoy. So now I'm going to give it a bit of a torch. these colours actually have turned out better together than I was planned. I think I'm happy that I've got a little bit more of the viridian than I do of the sap green. The sap green's still in there, but it's kind of hidden a little bit more. There's not as much black. All of the darker areas, they're not solid black. They're kind of a greeny black. So it has mixed well. I've got solid black through here, but there's lots of lacing and effects going on in them. So again, like I said, it turns out different each time, and it's really hard to actually predict. Like, I've got another infinity pour here. Where are we? And that's really different. Quite different. This one seems to be more, you can see the colours looping underneath each other, and that's a nice dry one. I love this one. And that's just the way to go about it. You kind of plan colours, but with this, you kind of really, in a way, you're kind of throwing the paint around a bit. You're not always going to realise how it's going to turn out until you do it. But that makes this even more awesome. As much as I like in life, I kind of try to plan things a bit better. I actually like the idea that I'm not sure what I'm going to get. So I'm just giving it a torch, seeing if any bubbles do pop and whether it is going to bring up any pearls. So I'm not going to hold this in one spot for any extended period. I'm going to continue to move it around and just warm everything up. Because there's not any silicon, pardon me, there's no silicon per se in this. It is just reactions of paint. So I'm hoping that warming them up does something without actually causing, I don't want to burn the paint or cause any damage to the artwork. You will find with infinity pours, you will get different effects in time. You will get cells or just reactions of the paints come up. It's what happens with it. It's just the way that it happens to it happens to go. So whether I torched it or whether I didn't, I may have still got the same effects show, but it's not always a given, so I thought I'll give it a slight warmth and see what happens. Because I can see pearls showing up. Alright, I think that's enough warming it up for me. So, I can see pearls all over this side here. And there's some pearls here, kind of a couple there, some around here, over there. So I really would like to try this another time with probably less colours and more of the deco art, and see if I get like a bit of cell explosion or pearl explosion. I'm going to scrape my edges so I don't lose too much more paint, because this mixture is slightly thin. That was one of the reasons why I want to test it with less water, just to see if a slightly thicker mix gives me different results. Can't always predict whether they'll be better or worse, but sometimes different is just fun because it's different to what you've already got. And again, don't do infinity pours on a tilted canvas. Make sure your canvas is flat. You will lose part of your artwork. It is a thin mixture, and even if the slight angle, it doesn't always ruin it, but it will change the look of it. I hope you guys like the tips that I give you. They're mostly just from personal experience, or someone has mentioned something similar, and I found that it has worked. So they might have said do this, and I've tried it, and it's been in my favour. So I try to share the knowledge that I learn. That's how we learn as humans. We share knowledge. If we all kept what we knew to ourselves, we wouldn't learn anything. Alrighty. I'm pretty pleased with this one. It's probably a little bit different to a nebula. It's kind of nebula looking. I wanted to do one of these with green and yellow, but I think that the yellow and the black won't be friends. So I decided not to. I need to get an opaque yellow. I do have an opaque yellow, but I don't have much of it. But yeah, this is it. I don't think it's going to change a great deal more. The pearls may grow. So all around here, they're kind of touching a little bit now instead of being as solid. You've got a couple of big ones. Definitely some over here. Up through there. And the metallic paint, we've got metallic dark blue here, metallic turquoise over here, metallic, looks a little bit purpley over here. I've got metallic green in there. So the decor art is mixed with the other colours and kind of given different effects. You can see the whites kind of bubbling through. So overall, I think it's awesome. I really do like infinity pours. I wish more people liked them in my videos because they are different. They're unique. All right, pausing it, bringing it down for a close-up. 22 minutes. Where does time fly? But that looks really cool. I could see this being in a space movie. Maybe with aliens or something. But that's cool. The camera's showing the colours pretty good. Pretty close to what I see. So as you can see, the whole painting is full of effects. There's the pearls from the deco art is making these kind of pearl shapes pop up. There's a blue line running through the green, which is what the infinity pour does, kind of loops things around. More streaks, more pearls. Up here it's a lot of silvery shapes and patterns. Here's more pearls up there in this corner. That's more cells in that corner, but different types. Come down, and as you can see, that all the colours loop and mingle and cross over each other. I think they do it in a really cool fashion doing it this way. So that's kind of this side of the painting. You can see my reflection. Then you go to this side. So, back up to the top. So we've got a very bluey area, which kind of runs down and across. And we've got green over here that runs down and through and down across the bottom. So the infinity pour makes these colours loop and intertwine in a really unusual way. It's like sometimes it's sitting on top of it, and then another time it looks like it loops under. But that's it. Thank you so much. Like, subscribe, share, leave comments, and enjoy. Make sure that if you try this, you're having fun. That's the main thing about this, is enjoying yourself. And show me your art. I'd love to see what you do. So, have a good night, everybody. Have a good evening, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.